Hollywood knows him as the king of comedy, the man whose laugh has echoed across decades, blockbuster films and living rooms worldwide. But behind the glitz, the red carpets, and the roar of audiences, there's a world most people never see. A life of quiet genius, meticulous style, and a fortune quietly built on talent, savvy, and vision. From the rough streets of Bushwick to the grand estates of Beverly Hills, Eddie Murphy hasn't just made people laugh. He's crafted an empire, a legacy, and a life lived entirely on his own terms. Cars that are more than machines, homes that are private kingdoms, and a generosity that never asks for applause. Today we step past the cameras, past the punchlines, and behind the gates of one of the most fascinating lives in entertainment. This is Eddie Murphy, comedian, mogul, father, philanthropist, and legend. Hidden behind the hills of Beverly lies a secret paradise, a grotto pool with waterfalls, a private boxing ring beside a basketball court, and a stone-carved pizza oven that looks straight out of a dream. But this isn't a resort, it's Eddie Murphy's home. This isn't just a mansion, it's a kingdom built from laughter, hustle, and a quiet kind of confidence. So what does life look like when you're the king of comedy and luxury? Today we're stepping inside Eddie Murphy's world. His palatial estate, roaring car collection, $200 million fortune, and the family at the heart of it all. But before the Rolls-Royces and movie premieres, there was Bushwick, Brooklyn. Not the trendy one, but the rough streets of the 60s and 70s. That's where Edward Regan Murphy grew up, a sharp kid with a laugh that could break tension like glass. That laugh came from pain. His parents split early. His father, a cop and part-time comedian, was killed when Eddie was just 8. Then his mom fell ill, and Eddie and his brother Charlie ended up in foster care. Even then, Eddie used humor to survive. It wasn't a shield, it was a gift, a spark. By high school, he was performing anywhere that had a mic. And when Saturday Night Live came calling in 1980, that spark exploded. Eddie didn't just join SNL, he saved it, and comedy was never the same again. While still breaking SNL, Eddie Murphy burst onto the big screen with 48 Hours alongside Nick Nolte. The chemistry was electric, the reviews glowing, and the box office massive. Hollywood had a new star. Then came a parade of classics that didn't just define the 80s, they owned them. Trading Places in 83, Beverly Hills Cop in 84, Coming to America in 88. Eddie wasn't just on the marquee, he was everywhere. Magazine covers, living rooms, merchandise. Larger than life, magnetic, always one step ahead of the punchline. By 89, he was writing, directing, and starring in Harlem Nights, teaming up comedy legends like Richard Pryor and Red Fox. Critics were split, but Eddie proved he didn't follow the narrative. He created it. The 90s brought bumps, flops, shifting trends, rising competition. But Eddie evolved. The Nutty Professor in 96, 7 characters in one film. Dr. Dolittle and his unforgettable donkey in Shrek made kids adore him. Adults never stopped. In 2006, Dreamgirls revealed a new side. Raw, vulnerable, brilliant. A Golden Globe, an Oscar nomination, a reminder, Eddie Murphy isn't just funny, he's legendary. Fast forward to 2025. Beverly Hills Cop 4 is underway. From skinny Bushwick kid to $200 million cultural powerhouse, Eddie built his empire by refusing to fade and laughing louder than anyone else in the room. And what does a life like that look like in bricks and mortar? Beyond the iron gates of Beverly Park lies a $10 million mansion. Soaring ceilings, white oak floors, citrus orchards, a Mediterranean meets Hollywood facade. Not just a home, but a private amusement park, a kingdom built from laughter itself. But it's what's behind those walls that truly stuns. Step into the main living space, and sunlight floods in through wall-to-wall glass. The open layout flows effortlessly past a gourmet kitchen with quartz countertops, a cozy breakfast nook, and a temperature-controlled wine cellar, leading to a dining area that spills onto a massive deck with canyon views. This isn't just a view, it's Eddie Murphy's world laid bare. Imagine winding down in the primary suite on the main floor, A retractable TV at the foot of the bed, dual spa-style bathrooms with marble and glass, and closets that aren't closets. They're full-fledged fashion archives with dressing lounges. The 136-inch home theater is a showstopper. Velvet seats, a cocktail bar, fireplace, and a wall that transforms into a screen at the touch of a button. Step outside and indoor and outdoor living merge seamlessly. Downstairs, the estate becomes a playground. Private bar, lounge, game zones, family movie nights feel like productions. Then the backyard hits, a grotto-style pool with waterfalls, a twisting water slide, and a wood-fired pizza oven under a canopy of vines. It's more Amalfi Coast resort than California backyard. And of course, Murphy didn't stop there. A 2-story gym with a boxing ring, a full-size basketball court, and a guest house with 2 bedrooms and a kitchen. Every corner has purpose. Every detail speaks to longevity, comfort, and legacy. Most striking of all, the silence. Hidden from paparazzi and chaos, Eddie isn't performing here. He's living. Surrounded by family, security, and space to breathe, this mansion is more than luxury. It's the life he earned, perfectly orchestrated. From the white oak floors to the canyon view decks, every inch of Eddie Murphy's Beverly Hills mansion feels personal. A place where punchlines rest and the spotlight dims. Here, the man behind the laugh is just Eddie. But before Beverly Hills, there was another kingdom, Granite Bay. Nestled in the foothills near Sacramento, Murphy's 1990s estate wasn't just a house, it was a palace. Over 12,600 square feet of drama, escape, and cinematic views of the Sierra Nevada. The entrance set the stage. 2 massive doors opening into a cathedral-like living room, ceilings soaring 2 stories, a grand curved staircase, and floor-to-ceiling windows framing mountains like living art. The kitchen wrapped around a granite island, with a butler's pantry and breakfast nook that made even morning coffee feel epic. The real magic was the entertainment wing. Behind velvet-lined doors, a private theater with Dolby surround sound, tiered seating, and a starry ceiling. Nearby, a retro arcade pulsed with childhood memories, pinball, Pac-Man, and laughter echoing from Bushwick to Granite Bay. A built-in bar fueled celebrations long into the night. 10 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, but the crown jewel, the primary suite, split-level design, deep shag carpet, a fireplace, spa-like ensuite, sunken tubs, and separate dressing areas. Outside, a 5,200 square foot guest house, a 1,200 square foot gym, tennis and basketball courts, and a pool framed by swaying palms completed the vision. This wasn't just a house, it was a sanctuary, a stage, a retreat, a place to live, laugh, and recharge away from the Hollywood buzz. Granite Bay was Eddie Murphy's California kingdom, a home that matched the man who built it. Granite Bay wasn't an escape, it was a sanctuary, a playground, a home. But time moves forward, and so do kings. Eventually, the pull of Beverly Hills, prestige, privacy, and a perch above the chaos was too strong. Murphy sold Granite Bay and moved his throne to Beverly Park. That Mediterranean-style palace in the hills remains a key chapter in his story, bridging the blockbuster 90s to the mogul we know today. But Eddie's empire isn't just bricks and mortar, it moves on wheels. In a city where engines often roar louder than fame, his cars aren't just vehicles. They're statements, memories, and extensions of identity. Take the Aston Martin DBS, hand-assembled V12, 510 horsepower, pure British elegance with muscle. Rumor has it he cruises it alone on late-night drives through Laurel Canyon, jazz spilling from the windows, Hollywood asleep. A car for thinking, breathing, being. The BMW E92 M3 Coupe, sleek, sporty, razor sharp. For Eddie, it's nostalgia. A nod to New York streets, fast instincts, and quiet drives without cameras. Then there's the Ferrari 599 GTB Fiorano. Front-mounted V12, 612 horsepower. Unapologetically loud. It's a statement, a punchline before the audience even laughs. Sunset Boulevard becomes Eddie's stage, the world his witness. The man who made America laugh hardest is also the one living fastest. In Murphy's world, homes and cars aren't just possessions, They're chapters, moments, and memories. They're proof that a life built on laughter can still roar with speed, elegance, and style. Mercedes-Benz SL-S AMG. Those upward-opening gull-wing doors aren't just flashy, they're a statement. Eddie picked this silver icon during a period of reinvention, after Dreamgirls, stepping back into serious roles. The SLS doesn't scream. It glides through Beverly Hills like royalty on parade, announcing presence without words. Then there's the Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe. Luxury that whispers in cashmere and chrome. Two-tone finish, hand-stitched leather, suicide doors that unfold like a red carpet. It's not about speed, it's about arrival. Murphy has taken it to premieres, family dinners, or quiet nights out. Every detail a celebration, every ride a work of art. And the Rolls-Royce Wraith, 624 horsepower, a starlit ceiling mimicking the galaxy above, a car that blends discretion with dominance. Early morning drives to the studio, or brunch with family, tinted windows, music low. Sometimes real luxury is simply privacy. Eddie's collection isn't the biggest in Hollywood, but it may be the most refined. Each car marks a chapter, a memory, a moment in a life built on laughter. Which brings us to the engine behind it all, $200 million. Decades of hits, from 48 Hours to Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America, Harlem Nights, and The Nutty Professor, gradually built the fortune that allowed Murphy to command $15 to $20 million per film by the late 90s. For Eddie Murphy, it's never just about the ride. It's about how you ride through life in style, power, and a quiet, earned confidence. Eddie Murphy's genius wasn't just in blockbuster paychecks, it was in the back-end deals. For films like Dr. Dolittle, Shrek and Coming to America, he negotiated profit percentages, merchandise royalties, and voiceover licensing. Take Shrek. As Donkey, he wasn't just a supporting character, he was the heart of the franchise. Global success in DVD sales meant tens of millions on top of his base pay. He invested early in real estate too. From Granite Bay to Beverly Hills, his homes alone added millions to his fortune. And while Murphy isn't flashy with endorsements, selective partnerships, voice work, and guest appearances quietly bolstered his empire. With Beverly Hills Cop 4 and a rumored stand-up comeback, insiders expect him to earn another $50 to $70 million in the coming years. Yet Murphy never flaunts it. No reality shows, no red carpet theatrics, just timeless homes, refined cars, and a lifestyle rooted in discipline and vision. While the world laughs at his punchlines, his wealth quietly powers his privacy, passions, and legacy. And it's not just about money. Eddie's philanthropy operates in the same understated way. From early donations to AIDS research in the 90s, to supporting the Martin Luther King Jr. Center, creative arts programs, and after-school initiatives, he gives where it matters. In 2023, during the SAG strike, he quietly contributed $100,000 to the strike relief fund, helping actors and crew left without paychecks. For Eddie Murphy, impact is personal, intentional, and consistent. He doesn't seek applause. He builds solutions, supports communities, and ensures the next generation has room to laugh, learn, and thrive. Eddie Murphy has quietly lifted up the next generation of comedians, paying school fees, covering healthcare, offering guidance without ever seeking recognition. No interviews, no social media posts, just giving fueled by gratitude and purpose. In a world where generosity often comes with a spotlight, Murphy stands out because he gives without needing credit. His comedy makes millions laugh, but his philanthropy changes lives. Behind the fame, the wealth, and the accolades, who is Eddie Murphy when the cameras are off? A devoted father of 10 children, each one marking a chapter of his life. A living record of decades of experiences, growth, and love. Raised Catholic, he eventually stepped away from formal religion, choosing instead to live by values, kindness, accountability, and doing right, even when no one's watching. Conscience, not dogma, guides him, and only Eddie Murphy could turn a movie joke into law. A 2010 amendment to U.S. financial regulations, inspired by a plot from Trading Places, unofficially became known as the Eddie Murphy Rule, banning the use of non-public government information for trades. A punchline that reshaped Wall Street. He's lived 10 lives in one, navigating fame, heartbreak, joy, and reinvention. Today, he's exactly where he wants to be, surrounded by family, calm mornings, quiet drives, and moments no money can buy. Eddie Murphy's story isn't just about laughter or fortune. It's about legacy, generosity, and living life on his own terms.